Hey guys, this time I'm going to show you how to take off the fairings. Many maintenance tasks require access to areas of the bike that are covered by the fairings, also sometimes called cowls. This can be tricky because they have to come off in a certain order and there are hidden fasteners and retaining clips. Here's a chart that shows the order in which things need to be removed on the CBR300R. In this video, we're going to cover the areas highlighted in yellow. First off, the passenger seat. Start by turning the key in the seat lock. This releases the latch on the back seat. Now just lift up. Next, the main seat. There are two 10mm bolts. They're a little inconvenient due to those little arches that the rear seat hooks onto, so I use a deep socket. Once those are out, the main seat is lifted up and pulled back. Next up, the middle cowl. There are two plastic pin clips, 5 socket head bolts, 2 snap fit clips, 2 tabs, and 2 electrical connectors that you'll need to remove. Step 1. Remove the 2 plastic pin clips. Do this by pushing in the center and then pulling from the outside. This was pretty easy with a 90-degree pick. The plastic on these is pretty thin, so be careful, they will break easily. You'll also need to get behind there to unclip the left and right fairings. Step 2. Remove the 5 socket head bolts. Keep track of which bolts go where. Even though they have the same drive size, there are different lengths, shoulders, and thread forms. This one is under the headlight. The last one points from the inside out and it is easier to access from the opposite side of the front wheel. Step 3. Pull off the fairing. Start by pulling away from the side of the fuel tank, being careful to grab the middle cowl only. Once the clips disengage, you need to swing the fairing forward a bit to get that inside bolt location clear of the bracket. Continue with the pulling forward and slightly rotating downward motion. This should get the top edge of the middle cowl to come out from under the front fairing while simultaneously freeing the forward facing tabs and the vertical bolting tab. Don't try to force it. Once it's free, handle the fairing carefully since it is still attached to the bike by the blinker wires. Step 4. Disconnecting the blinker. There's 2 wires. Carefully pull these apart. Grip the connector itself, not the wire, to avoid damaging the joint between the wire and the connector. Next up, the undercowl. This is held on by 4 socket head bolts, 2 on each side. Undo them, pull it off. Pretty easy. Although not required for dropping the engine out, I'll show you how to take off the side cover too. There are 2 socket headed bolts. After you pull out the 2 bolts, the only thing holding it on is 2 bosses. Pull out the 2 bolts, gently pull the side cover toward you and it should come right off. That's it for this time guys. Hopefully I was able to clear up the fairing removal process for you. Have a good one.